travel the cup where the working boats went. We'll hire us a narrow boat.
Fantastic. There you go. Life and Times, where the working boats went. Welcome to the programme. Good morning, Graham.
Hello there, Phil.
I like the hats there. Just looking at the video of that. Very nice. And very in keeping.
Okay, fine.
Anyway, so welcome to the programme.
Okay.
And you've got a performance that you're sort of doing around the place, aren't you? You were down in Sidmouth.
That's
one
right.
thing.
We were down in Devon earlier in the year in August, yes, at the Sidmouth.
How did that go then? Did it go well? Did it go well?
Yes, it was really good. We had a really good audience. In fact, actually, I try not to gloat, but actually they had quite a few other events on in the theatre during the week, and I was told that we actually had a bigger audience than a lot of the others. So I was very pleased that we managed to do that. So yeah, great. And we did Shrewsbury Festival in August as well, and that went very well as well. So yeah, we've been around the country quite a bit this year, in fact.
Right, and you're coming up to Hitchin or down to Hitchin, depending upon where you're coming from. You're going up to Hitchin from here, anyway.
Well, yeah, certainly. Yeah, on Friday this week, we're at the Methodist Church in Purton in Hertfordshire, which is not far from Hitchin. I think the event actually is there to try and raise money for the church as well. But the idea is that, if you come along, you're going to see the show where the working boats went. Do you want me to give you an idea of how the show works?
Yeah, sure. That's what I was going to just ask you in a minute. But just tell us about the other date as well. You've got one on the 19th.
There's another one that's not too far away as well. That's at Cheddington in Buckinghamshire, not just south of Leighton Buzzard. And that's on November the 19th, so that's a little bit further away. But if you manage to miss the one on Friday, then November the 19th at Cheddington is the next.
Okay, and we'll give details of how to get in touch with them in just a moment. Tell us how the show goes then. Yes.
Right. What we have is it's in two parts, and the first part, this is a bit of a departure from the norm for Life and Times, because we've always just done sort of music. We've sort of sung and taken people through the stories behind the songs and things. Whereas here we actually act as well, so this is quite an interesting sort of departure for us. And the first part, we actually play the parts of two boatmen in the 1870s, and we're basically talking about the various things that have happened since the canals sort of came about in the late 1700s, beg your pardon. And then in the second part, we play the role of two boatmen in the 1950s, bemoaning the better days on the canals having gone, and of course the fact that it looks like everything's going to disappear, which of course it didn't completely. And obviously with each section that we talk about, we cover different aspects of things on the canals, like the canal mania of the early 19th century. We cover things like the sort of things that were carried on the canals, the lock keepers, the horses that pulled the boats, the tunnels, all sorts of different things, all the way through. And with each one, we have a song to illustrate each thing as well as we go through. Right.
So it sounds like it's quite an interesting thing. I mean, it's certainly not just one performance, as you say.
Well, there's a lot of things tied in together.
Fantastic.
And we're very pleased. It's actually gone down very well everywhere. And one of the things in particular that's pleased us is the fact that we've performed it quite often to people who have canal connections. And we haven't had people come up to us and say, great, but actually this was like this or that was like that. So generally it looks like we've done the research correctly as well. So anybody who's into canals in particular, hopefully won't be disappointed, and it usually goes down very well with everybody else as well. Right, well let's just find out then how we get in touch if you want to go to one of those performances. So Julie Dawson's one of the people, isn't she? Julie Dawson for the performance at Purton. Yeah, if you contact Julie, she's on 01462 712 818. So that's 01462 712 818. So if you contact Julie, you'll be able to get some tickets for Friday's performance, and that starts at 7:30. And that's, as I say, it's Purton Methodist Church, which is near Hitchin. Purton is near Hitchin in Hertfordshire. Right. And if you're interested in the Cheddington one, then you need to contact Barry Goodman, and you can get Barry on 01462 456 811. That's 01462 456 811. And the show there, so it's November the 19th, and it starts at, the actual show starts at 8 p.m. The doors open at 7:30. So Barry's probably the best contact for that one. Right, well, thank you very much indeed for joining us, Graham. You're very welcome.